with Teaquilts, and it's about 10 minutes to 7. I did not mean to hit the go live button. I hit the wrong button. So I will just stay here so that I don't confuse the subscribers and just wait for people to come in. How about that? So we actually have a 10-minute wait. Hi guys, I hit the go live button by mistake, so I'm here like super early. Sorry about that. And I didn't want to like start the live over again and have people get confused, so I'm just going to hang out here. Make sure I pull this up on my cell phone so I don't have to reach in front of me to read the comments. Let's see, cut this volume down so I don't hear myself. Just a minute. Let's see. Go to my channel. Oh my, quite a few of you all are already in the chat box. Wow. So again, for those that are just coming in, I accidentally hit the go live button instead of saving it so you'll get a notification. So that's why I'm here. And I did not want to start the live feed over again because I didn't want to confuse everybody tonight and then have some people miss it because they saw the first one. And yeah, my mistake. I've been having a weird couple of last days now. Yep. See, people say you in early. Yep, by accident. Oh gosh, I didn't even get a chance to go make sure my hair was okay or anything. I'm just here. I've been so busy, guys. A lot going on. You know, when you start coming down to your deadlines and, you know, you put stuff off and say, oh, I could wait and do that. I can wait and do that. And then, yeah, I got a lot of stuff to do now. So, let's see, you all tell me what projects you all are working on so I don't have to start the... I don't have much to talk about today, so we can just talk about whatever. I did receive one package in the mail from this past week, so I'll open that up. And I'm assuming that it's a churn dash block. That's why I'm opening it here. I figure they're going to still trickle in for a while, so let me see if anybody's telling me what they're working on. Cordelia says, I'm here so we can visit while we wait for the others to come. Exactly. Cordelia, what are you working on quilt-wise? Oh, I see Lisa says she's working on a t-shirt quilt. That's awesome. I love t-shirt quilts. I'm working on one now, but I'm to the point where I need to lay it out, and it's for a queen size bed. And so I only work on it now at retreats. And I really miss working on it. That's my Cardinals t-shirt quilt I showed you. The last time I worked on it was in February at my quilt retreat. So I'm hoping that I'll take that back again. Bonita says she's working on her dinner. I haven't even eaten dinner yet. Diane says I got my last shipment of 4 patches, so I'm scoring up so I can assemble. That's pretty cool. You must have been in a swap group. And June Billings, thank you all so much for adding to this conversation while we wait. She says that she is hand binding her latest quilt. I did quilt the quilt that I showed last week. I got it quilted, and boy, did I have the blues. That's another thing about waiting to the last minute. And I've also learned never enter anything into a show that's not finished, okay? Just take my word for it, because I haven't had any problems with my machine. And then when I enter quilts that are not finished is when I'm having a problem. And I just know it's just my own stress level. So that's pretty funny. And Cordelia says that, she just put the binding on 3 quilts. Wow. I'm assuming you did that by machine. I hate binding, by the way. I don't hate binding. I don't mind putting it on, but if I have to turn it to the back and do the hand sewing, that part I actually hate. And I don't hate it so much as when it's a small quilt like this one, but when it's a bed quilt, because it can take you an hour to an hour and a half per side. That's the part I hate. But if it's a quilt for me, or a quilt that I'm going to be showing in lectures and it's not dealing with binding, I feel like I need to do the handwork just to show people what a quilting should look like. But then I also have quilts that break the rule, but for the most part I try to do it the right way because I have a lot of people that I'm teaching. And Diane says yes, because it's fun seeing all the different fabrics and from the blocks. I'm assuming she meant to add. Susan Waddle says that she's working on Bonnie Hunter's 2018 mystery. This thing has a bajillion pieces. I decided not to do that one. I did the one from 2017 on Ringo Lake. And I decided, it takes up a lot of time. You can spend your whole time doing some of Bonnie Hunter's steps. So I decided, no, I have too many other things. And so I haven't gotten it done yet. So I'm going to go back and do shout outs. I'm just doing, I don't even have a watch on. Good Lord. See? You can see from my suntan. Goodness. So we got 2 minutes. So that's what I'm doing, is that I'm just reading some other comments, and then I'll go back and do the shout outs at the official 7 o'clock start. Judy Smith says she's working on packing up my sewing stuff. Was supposed to get my she shed delivered today, but it didn't arrive. So disappointed. And that I can fully understand when you all excited about our new toys that are coming in, and then when they don't come in, boy, oh boy, you just feel like somebody just popped a balloon on you or something. Yeah. Hopefully it'll come tomorrow, Judy. Leetta says, she says, hi everyone, I'm working on a mystery quilt. That's pretty cool. And Cordelia says she is doing her binding by hand. Oh my goodness. Shrivia Henderson says, I'm working on a crazy quilt. And gonna go back up. We like a minute from start time, so I'm just gonna go ahead and start and say welcome, Teaquilters. Sorry about the confusion tonight. I actually, when I was scheduling my live, I was only in here like 10 minutes before start time. And so when I meant to hit the save button so that it could notify you all we'll be going live in 10 minutes, I actually hit the go live button instead. So that's why we're here early. So I've been on here just yakking and getting my phone hooked up so I could see the comments without having to reach into the screen here. So that's kind of why we're here early. I did not go over anything. I just basically asked people what projects they were working on. And you can still add them as I go down through the chat box now. So we've got Wind Sprinter here, says hello from Maryland. Diane 57 says, hey there. Jacqueline Devon says hi from Minnesota. Hi Jacqueline, welcome. I don't remember your name in my chat before. Welcome to live chat. And June Billings says hello from London. Charisse says hello everyone. Dora Camarina says, hi T, your hair looks marvelous. Thank you. It's my hair, when it starts to get towards wash day, I feel like, oh my goodness, I don't know if I can go one more day. So today I tried to really make it so I could get one more day out of it, but who knows if I'll wash it tomorrow either. But thank you so much. Peggy O'Connor is here. She says, hi T. Hands sewing binding on your chat while waiting on your chat. Exactly. Peggy's got a big quilt she's got to put in the show. I'm sure she's working on that quilt. And let's see. And Diane, because I came in here early, she says, yep, no flies on me. She's paying attention. Judy Smith says, hi, 10, everyone. Shrivia says, hi, everyone. Let's see. I'm skipping some of those that I've already read before. Lisa says, how often do you go on retreat? I think that would be so much fun. I go on retreat. It varies a lot. I have 2 of them that I do every year. That's Flower Valley Quilting Guild, which is my large quilt guild. And then I have my small quilt guild. I go on that one as well. My large quilt guild, we go in February. And it's always President's Week. And then my small group where we have 8 quilters that go on retreat, we go Memorial Day weekend. And sometimes I would go to the State Quilt Guild retreat. I was going to go this year, but then I had 2 impromptu trips with my mom that I had to take her. We went out of town for 2 funerals, 2 family members. And so I decided not to go to the state retreat because I am going to go to Houston. So if you all missed that last week, I am going to Houston this year. I will be doing a meetup Friday afternoon sometime. If you all want to meet for lunch, we can try for meeting at maybe 12:30. Otherwise, I figure we can meet about 1:30 on Friday. And I'll be giving more information about that, but I'm just giving you all a heads up on that I will be in Houston. And other retreats that I go on, none. Now, sometimes when I'm traveling to quilt shows and if I'm staying overnight, then I'll take stuff. I'll get a room with 2 double beds so that I can use the second bed as my design wall. And so that's why sometimes it might seem like I go on more retreats than I do because I take advantage of whenever I'm traveling. Let's see. And her last statement about quilt retreats being fun, yes, they are. I think you really, if you join a quilt guild, you really don't get to know the members unless you attend some of the breakout sessions. Because when you go to guild meetings, they mostly will have a speaker, and then they will have all the meeting stuff that's got to be handled, talking about the approving minutes and treasury reports, talking about things that are coming up with the guild, making announcements about workshops that might be coming up. So all the various different things that the guild is operating, they're going to be talking about that. How you get to know those members is that you need to go to breakout sessions. And one of my group is not really a breakout session of our guild, but a lot of people in my quilt guild are in my scrap quilting club. And so we really get to know people. We meet the 3rd Thursday of the month, and then 2 other Thursdays of the month, we meet at the library. And at the library, you get to meet people. So I do advise people that sometimes feel like quilt guilds are not for you to actually try going to some of the breakout meetings of the guild, because guilds seem to be standoffish. It's because they've got an agenda, that they've got a timeline that they've got to get through. So I'm not saying all of them are great. I'm just saying you might can find 2 or 3 people in that group that you really click with. And that's kind of how my small group got started. Although me and Sarah, if you all have been watching my retreat video, Sarah and I have been friends since 1985. We worked together, and that's how me, her, and her daughter actually started our small group by meeting in each other's home once a month, and we would just sew. We were sewing at the time when we first started, and so then we all evolved into quilting, and none of us sew anymore. It's amazing how we all just all moved together into the same thing. So, but that's how things start. You go and you meet other quilters, and then you become friends with those quilters, and you all may make your own breakout groups from there. We've got Quilt Gal here. She says hi, T from Maryland. Hi, welcome. Darlene Farmer is here. She says greetings from Northern Virginia. LC says hello, T and everyone from Southern California. Welcome. Phyllis Garner is here. She says hi, T and everyone. And Teresa McBrayer is here. Says hi, Teaquilts. Hi, everybody. Duana Montreal says hello, T and everyone. T, I was able to send out the blocks I made for you today. Sorry it's late. Car problems. No problem whatsoever. I will still be showing them in my live chats as we go, so no big deal. I appreciate everything that you all are doing, so no big deal. And Peggy's talking about that quilt. She say, I know. Next time, if it's not done, it's not in show. Exactly. She says, hand sewing's not my favorite. I was thinking today to machine sew it, but it looks a lot better done by hand. Exactly. Especially, Peggy's got a beautiful quilt. She did a hexagon quilt that's paper piece that she worked on for years, and it's just beautiful. So you really need to finish it and get it done by hand. And Diane loves the binder. She says, binding by hand is very relaxing. Send you all my stuff. Quilt Gal says, I'm just quilting my mind. I'm just quilting in my mind and getting nothing done but mowing the lawn. Dewana says, I'm hand quilting a baby quilt. New grandson due in 2 months. Congratulations. That is awesome. Darlene says, I'm currently working on a shoe flat quilt, 10-inch square blocks. Yes, that's very similar to the churn dash quilt. Vivian McCalvey says, hi, T. Hi, Vivian. Remo JS says, hi, hello, T and everyone from Bowie, Maryland. Welcome. And Judy says, I'm working on a 2-step quilt, which is easy and fun. Phyllis says, working with serger to complete some UFOs. That's pretty cool. I need to pull my serger out. You know, I've got 2 sergers and I don't even use them, but they both are old, but they still work, and I'm not going to buy a new one. But one of them I purchased myself when I started sewing. I started sewing in 86. So I probably got the serger within 2 years of that. It's an old Bernina, and at the time their serger line, I don't know if they still do it, was called Burnett, and it's the Burnett 234. It's an old model, but it works fine, and I've been sewing with it. And then my older sister, who passed a few years ago, she had a serger that I inherited from her. So I do have 2, but I've never used my sister's serger. I just made sure it worked, and then because I'm not using either one of them, but I put it up. But one day I hope to pull those back out. I think I need to start doing more with the serger as well. And Diane says she never used a serger to quilt with. You can use the serger to piece with, and you can do even quilt as you go with it. If you figure it out without, you got to tuck your backing and batting, or you work on the panels and you just serging around the outside edge. So you can kind of do that too, but yeah, it just depends. Linda DeVito is here. She says, hi, T and everyone. Welcome from Rockaway, New Jersey. And Diane said, I will be in Houston. Yes, I know. You were trying to get me to come back anyway. Teresa said, she's talking to Diane. Rhonda Barlow is here. She says, greetings, T and everyone from Savannah. Welcome, Rhonda. Brenda Perkins Says hello from Pine Bluff, Arkansas. Hey Brenda, welcome. I don't remember your name, but welcome to chat. I appreciate you coming in here to give us some of your time. And also, my daughter did 1 year at Pine Bluff, Arkansas University. She had to go out of state so that she can get in that band. And she was in the band for 1 year and was homesick and had to come back home and go to school. So, yeah. I spent a lot of money for that 1 year. Yeah. Cheryl Abram is here. She says hello from Alabama. That name sounds new too, so welcome to chat as well. Mercedes Punti, I guess, from hello from Carrizo Springs in Texas. I'm hoping I said your name right. I probably butchered it like I do all the others, so I'm so sorry in advance. But welcome to the chat. I appreciate you all stopping in. LA Quinn is here. Says hiya, everyone from Mid-Coast, Maine. All right, welcome to the chat. Sandra Ingstrom says hello from Nashville. And Helen Thomas says, hey, Miss T and all from Helen in San Antonio. June Hanson says, hi, T and everyone. And Rhonda wants to remind everybody to click that thumbs up button. Thank you, Rhonda. Trisha says, hi from Southern California. Teresa said, oh, she's talking to Diane 57, so I'm going to skip it. And Diane says, ooh, love me some baby hugging. Phyllis says, I use the serger for the outside edge. That's a good idea too. Then it's all put together. You don't have to worry about anything slipping. Great tip. And Diane says, I would like to take a class on how to bind by serger. So apparently somebody is using their serger for binding. That's pretty cool. Cleo Preston says, hello T, caught you again from Houston. Hey, welcome. Hopefully you'll be at the quilt show. I plan on being at the quilt show in Houston this year. And also, if you see me walking the aisles of Houston, and I will be probably videotaping, it is okay for you all to stop me and talk and chat. It's okay. I'll just eventually cut the camera off and then I'll take a picture with you and we can have a great time. So please don't think that I'm too busy to ever chat with you all when you see me in person. Stephanie Graham says hi. Hi Stephanie, welcome to chat. And Sharon Martin is here. She says hi everyone. And Deborah Richards says, hey, everyone. So I don't have a whole lot on my agenda. That's why I went through the whole chat box. So if you all got something else you want me to say or want to comment on or figure out, just go ahead and put it in the chat. If you're a new quilter and you got any questions, go ahead and pop that also in the chat box because I don't really have an agenda because I'm working on projects for my quilt show. And I will show you 2 of them. I guess this quilt that I quilted, I can't really show you a whole lot of it because I'm up close. And then I'll show you some decals that I'm working on. How I'm going to display my sample boards. So this is from Elwin McGough out of Henderson, Nevada. Got a card in here. Oh, wow. So it's a pretty card. Very pretty 3D elements. I don't know if it shows up. And then she says, Dear T, I send belated happy birthday wishes to you. I hope there is room on your quilt for 1 more block. I follow you on YouTube faithfully and can't really express how much I really enjoy your tutorials and chats. One day I hope to join you live. Your scrap club is so lucky to have you. Sincerely, Evelyn. And that's really sweet. So thank you so much because when I got this envelope out of my P.O. box, I didn't know the name. So I appreciate you all doing that, especially those that don't get a chance to get into the live chats or, you know, some people just don't want to chat. Some people can't chat because of other reasons why they can't put themselves in a chat box. So I appreciate you all sending me a block when I don't know your name, but you're one of those supporters to Teaquilts. and are doing this so that you can be in this quilt. So I appreciate that. And she has a really extended churn dash block. It's a pretty good size. So I'm just going to put it on my little board here. And I love, love, love the fabrics. And remember, she's from Nevada. This is too cool. Just look at that. And I'm just holding it on the side so it doesn't slip. But isn't that just beautiful? The fabrics on here are so pretty. And she even extended the, it's not even a square on point. It's actually a diamond in there. Isn't that cute? Just gorgeous. Just thank you so much. I love different stuff. That is just too cool. I'll just sit it back over here for a minute. But thank you so much. And again, I appreciate all the blocks. So it's going to be a beautiful quilt when I get around to getting it pieced, which will probably be at retreat. I'm going to try to work on a layout before I go to retreat so I can try to get a good chunk of it sold at retreat. So I'm hoping to work on this quilt, and this retreat's in February. That quilt as well as my Cardinals t-shirt quilt. I want to finish that as well. So I've been working on stuff for the quilt show. There's a number of tasks that I've been assigned for the quilt show, and one of them I even forgot to bring in here is that number one, I am the vendor chairperson for the show, so I am responsible for all the vendors. So I've been contacting with them, getting them all signed up, making sure, and I now need to start making stuff so that they have a name for their designated spot. So I need to still work on that. Got 1 week. And I'm also a vendor, so that's another thing. And then I'm also a participant as far as a guild member with quilts in the show. So I am finishing up projects. I still have 2 projects. I got to finish sewing the label. Any bed-size quilt, when you're entering a quilt into a show, needs to have a label. And sometimes I would use just pins to pin my label on and make it a temporary label. And sometimes if it's a quilt that I know I'm going to probably use on my bed because I don't want to wash and it's probably going to be a quilt I hang, then I'll put a permanent sleeve. So I'm putting my on Ringo Lake bed-size quilt in the show, and it did not have a label. So I had, a hanging sleeve. It had a label. It didn't have the hanging sleeve. So I'm hand sewing that on. So that's what I'm doing with that. And I also entered bed-size quilt, my interpretation of Pat Sloan's Solstice quilt. If you don't know what I'm talking about, go to Google Teaquilts Solstice quilt. Pat Sloan had a project where she gave you all these different blocks to make during this process, but I opted to use all of my orphan blocks or my orphan pieces, and I made my own blocks instead. So I used her layout with some slight modifications, but then I used all of my own orphan blocks, and I really love that quilt. And I did it as a series because as she was working on it, she kind of did it in quadrants. She was giving you so many blocks, and then they were in quadrants, and I could see that they were in quadrants while she was working on it because she gave us the layout. So I did my videos in quadrants as well. And then this quilt here, I was trying to talk about when I was talking about machine embroidery, and it is Sarah Velder. She does, she makes dies with AccuQuilt, and then she also makes embroidery designs that sometimes go with those dies, but sometimes she has standalone embroidery. And this is the other thing I've got to get finished for the show. It's just a wall hanger. It's actually going to have to go in the mini quilt category because of its size, although it is a little mini wall hanger. But look at the detail on this machine embroidery. And I did this eons ago on my home sewing machine, so the stitching isn't that great in the background, but you know, you got to start from somewhere. So yeah, but and I just put this in there in the show. I called myself putting things in the show this year that wasn't finished, because it'll make me get something finished. But I'm like, now I'm regretting the fact that I'm working on stuff that I don't really want to work on, because I'd rather be working on other things that I'm doing for the show. But anyway, on this, I just need to pick a fabric. I'm hoping I got some more of this green left, and maybe just put a green binding to make it disappear. If I can't find this green binding, then I may just go ahead and use some kind of an orange to put the binding on this quilt. So that's one thing I wanted to show you all. It's still not finished, but I did get this one quilted, and I got to now wash it because I used blue marking pen on it, and I just sprayed it out, and so it's still gonna have some blue streaks on it when you see it. So, but this is I'm just gonna show you what I quilted, because I showed you the quilt. I can't show you the whole thing. These triangles are isosceles. They're not 60-degree. So they're not equilateral on all sides. They're taller than it is wider at the base. And somebody at a quilt guild in Wood River, Illinois, when I was there doing a lecture, came up and gave me a whole big bag of what they call scraps. And in that bag was a bag, another plastic, I mean, they're talking about I got big trash bags, maybe 2. And in one of those was another little plastic bag. Well, it was a pretty good size, because I had about 600 or 700 of these, I believe. I bet you it probably is even more. And I just hate to throw usable stuff away. So these are not even my fabrics. I did not cut not one of these triangles. All this fabric was given to me. So I decided to put it together into a quilt. So just a quick look at it. I know you're not going to see the whole thing, but what I want to just show you is what I quilted. So I quilted spirals in the border. And then on the edge, I just did some kind of, this is not the prettiest. I was having issues, and I just got frustrated. And then I did some outline with my ruler. I did ruler work here as well in the background of the white border. Feathers in the corners. And then more spirals in the triangles again. And then in the middle, I actually drew, I'm hoping you can see, because I can't, this design here, I drew that with blue marking pen, and then echoed around, and then just filled in with pebbles and spirals in there as well. So nothing fancy on the quilting. I just wanted to get it done. And so since I had showed you all, it has the label and everything else on it as well. Just trying to get some things done. So I got to now finish this, and then I got like maybe about another 20 inches of that sleeve I need to finish. Let me just check the comments box real quick to make sure new people coming in are recognized. I can't even remember the last comment I read. I'm so terrible. I got a lot in my head. Woo! It's a lot of comments coming up here. Winfred Baptiste, she says, hi T and Quilt family. Hi, welcome. And Bonita says, I used a piece of my fabric from the free-for-all. I think that is what it's called. It's called the flea, F-L-E-A, like a flea market. So we call it flea-for-all. That's close enough. She says, it was just the right size for my son-in-law's birthday pillow. He loves the Carolina Panthers. All right. So she's already used some of that fabric. Cleo says, my whole quilting group will be there. Hopefully we will see you. Awesome. That'll be awesome. Janet, she says, hello everyone. It's tea time. Thumbs up time too. Thank you, Janet, for the reminder. People are saying it's lovely. I think we're talking about the quilt block. That's the first thing I said. Joanne Fabric here is starting to demo high-grade machines to include a small stand-up quilting machine. Anyone else notice this about Joann's where you live? I don't know, because I haven't been to Joann's probably over a year. I can't even remember the last time I was in there. And when I do go into Joann's, I just basically get what it is that I need. Tiffany's Quilting Life says, hi T and everyone. I am late to the chat. Hi Tiffany, no problem. We were here 10 minutes early by accident. Sharon Patmore says, wow, welcome Sharon Patmore. I don't remember seeing your name. And they're all talking about how pretty that block is. I love that block material. Love it. Beautiful. Beautiful. That's nice. Well, great block. So, yes. When beautiful block. I appreciate that. June says there were 3 tornadoes that hit Sioux Falls, South Dakota last night, and Joann's was one store that was heavily damaged. Wow. Just trying to scroll through. People are saying hi to each other, so I'm just skipping some of that. Sharon says that Vegas block is awesome. Yes, it is. Quilt Gal is asking, has anyone ordered from Marshall's Dry Goods? I just found them and I've made 2 orders from them and have been very pleased. I do a lot of charity quilts for a nearby nursing home, so I bought backing fabrics. Yes, I have, and I also buy their brand of batting. It's very compatible to the Hobbs 80/20, which is also very good, but it has just a little bit more loft to it, which I like, because if you're going to have the polyester, at least let it work. I think in the 80/20 it doesn't work as well unless it's densely quilted, so I do like their batting. I'll talk a little bit more about Marshall's Dry Goods later. And Bonita says that's a very nice mini quilt. I live 2.5 hours from there, so I wonder where it all went. And Diane says, I have Quilt Gal and I'm very happy with my order. And so, yeah, so Marshall's is pretty good. I've ordered from them about 4 or 5 times, except for this week. But it's not their fault, though. Winfrey says, you were a blessed lady. Well, thank you. Love the quilt. Awesome job, T. Great work. So people are talking about the quilts. I'm going to skip it. Lovely triangle quilts. As soon as I say I'm going to skip it, I accidentally read another one. Rhonda wants to know, and it's good questions. Wow, how did you decide on a design since you didn't cut out the pieces? And I know when I get pieces, the reason why I knew they weren't equilateral is because I tried to put them into a setting where you would have triangles that would be equal sides. So that's how I knew that those triangles were not 60-degree triangles and they were triangle isosceles, which your base is shorter than your height. So I just see if they would go into a straight row. And then once they did that, I didn't want just a row quilt either. So that's how I figured out how to make that. It's like an elongated hexagon, because it's not even, it's not, because it's not 60 degrees, it's not going to come out straight. And that lets you know these triangles are not 60 degrees, because this hexagon is not straight. And I'm hoping you can see that. It's not equal. So then I just figured out how much I wanted to put in each row, and then I did the measurements. It does take math. And a lot of quilters don't like math, but it takes math. And then I just figured out what it was that I wanted to, if I want, to put that hexagon in there, I had to do a lot of math. So yeah. And I did not videotape this one, because I was videotaping a lot of other stuff at the time, and I was kind of like, you just need to get something done. So, Norma, I'm not even going to try your last name. Says, hi everyone, I'm new at quilting, trying to make a scrappy quilt. I think it's coming out pretty nice. I love your videos. Thank you so much. Well, thank you so much, Norma. Thank you so much also for coming into the chat and for being brave and putting something in the chat box. I appreciate that. If you ever have any questions about quilting, you can always just pop questions into any video and let me know what it is you need. If I can help you, I will. I'm also on Facebook, where if you're in that group, you could possibly get other people to help you. I have a Teaquilts Facebook group, so you can also join that for my new people that don't know. And if you have Facebook. Kathy says, love the triangle quilt, great use of scraps. Sharon says, I'm new to live. Yes. And I thought I'd get used to YouTube, but then YouTube keep changing everything that I do. And Norma says this was her first time at Quilting Chat as well. So, Diane has reminded people, please like and share. Those who are new, please subscribe. And great, because I'm also trying to get up to 10,000 subscribers, and I'm going to be doing Amazon giveaways. But make sure that whoever is listening to my voice, make sure that you have commented on some video of mine this year, because I don't give my giveaways to people that I don't know. Now, if and why? Because I want to reward my subscribers and people who are actively viewing my channel. So make sure that you comment on some video outside of the chat box, because once I do my search for chats, they don't give me the chats that are in the chat box. So I always check. And so when I get 10,000 subscribers, I'm going to be doing Amazon gift card giveaways. So make sure that you comment on the outside of a video. If I don't know your name, you're not going to win. So, and I always check and make sure that they have commented. So if I pull a name, and I'll go back and look at the search through the comments and see if that person has actually commented anywhere. So please do that. And that's going to be before I announce the video, because once I do the video for the giveaway, you can't comment after that. So you got to do it now. And Vicky, thank you, Vicky. She says we have 9,900 so far. So we're looking for at least another 100 subscribers so we can do this drawing. Thank you so much for checking. Sharon says, question, what size binding do you use? It kind of varies on the type of quilting that I'm doing. For the most part, I just go ahead and use 2.5-inch strips. And I do that for a number of reasons. One, because it's kind of the industry standard. Although you don't have to follow the industry standard. The second reason is because whatever I don't have left, I can use the scraps with my jelly roll strips, which jelly roll strips are 2 1/4. I mean 2 1/2. And I'm saying that because I don't want to keep 2 1/4 inch strips. That is the ideal size if you're going to do like a 1/4 inch. 2 1/4 kind of nicely folds to the back and you don't have any extra. When I do 2 1/2, sometimes I have a little extra binding that goes beyond my binding seam. And ideally, they should be meeting up exact, but it's no big deal on that either. I don't really see many people go and look at the backs of quilts or put the back of the quilts on the bed anyway. So that's why I use scraps on the back of my quilts. I don't care what's on the back. But, yeah. So I basically use 2 1/2. Now, there are some instances where if I'm doing curves, that changes everything. I might use a 1 3/4 inch strip, and I'm only using like one side of it and then flipping over, or if I'm doing it doubled, I'm making sure that I'm sewing real scant seams, because when you're sewing curves and going into like scallops, then that's a whole nother ball game. So you need less fabric for that. Let's see. Cherie says, I cut my finger binding at 2. I cut my bind. I thought she said I cut my finger. I have cut my finger twice. She says I cut my binding at 2.5 inches unless I make a flange binding. And Norma says she's a subscriber. Yay! Thank you so much. Benita's talking to Diane. Judy says, so commenting on the live chats doesn't count. No, if you notice the live chats, okay, what happens is when I'm doing comment searches, it doesn't search inside of the live chats. It only searched the actual comment box of the video. And so just leave one comment. I know, Judy, that you've been in every live chat that I've had just about this year. So just leave, make sure you leave at least one comment outside of the chat box. The comment chats does work to keep the video in the suggested YouTube videos for other people who watch these type of videos. So it counts that way. But as far as a drawing, when I'm giving things away, there's no way for me to to search the comments in a actual video. I can only search the comments that are outside the video. 9,958 subscribers. Woohoo! I guess I better start getting my pennies ready for the drawing, right? Wow. We got Loretta. She says, hi all from Ohio. Phyllis says, remember the thumbs up. 64 people on live, only 5 thumbs ups. I see 34 thumbs up on mine. And it just went to 36. So they're doing it. Thank you all. Shirley Rayleigh is here. And I have not heard of your name. So welcome to chat. Appreciate it. She says, hello, everyone. Yogi Castillo says hi. Welcome to chat. Cherie says, I'll thumbs up afterwards. Yeah, I know on my phone and in my other devices, it's difficult to find. But on my desktop, I can watch in theater mode and still see the thumbs up. And I can also see the chat box. But on my cell phone, I can't see the thumbs up. I can only see my video and then me and the comments. So I can't see the thumbs up part. So it just depends on what device you're watching on. Quilt Gal says, so how do you comment on your videos? You can comment on any video. So if you pull up a YouTube video, any YouTube video, you have the title, and then it has a description that we put a description in if we're so inclined. And then after that is where all the comments go. They have a little thing that says comments, and you click in it and you just start typing. So that's where you get your comments. And Sharon says, I see 59 people are in the chat, must be subscribing. So thank you all so much. But don't forget to do a comment on the outside as well. And any video that you've already watched, just comment on that. That'll be great. Bonita says, where is Eric? He doesn't like us anymore. I emailed Eric and no, I don't know what he's doing right now, but he has some plans for later this year. But I have talked to him through email, so he's alive out there. He must be busy. He's gonna always like us. And he also had a birthday in the last week or so. So that's probably part of it too. Deborah says, my sis asked if I wanted to go dumpster diving with her at Joann's. I asked her if she was nuts. I could get this 200 pounds up in the dumpster even if I could never get out on time. Right, I am one of those people that I am not getting in the dumpster. So you got to have some of them claw grip things. You got to help me out, okay? Because I'm not going into a dumpster. Debbie Huey is here. She says, hey, sissy from the quilt chair. Hey, girl, how are you? She's in that comfortable chair. If you all don't know, the last quilt studio on tour was Debbie Huey's. It's got a lot of great response. A lot of you have viewed it, so I appreciate it. And those of you that don't know, I have done about 7 or 8 of my local quilting friends. They have let me into their studios, and I have shown you all of their studios so you can get different ideas on how to store your stuff, how to operate in small spaces, as well as those of you that have big spaces. So I try to do a mix of people with large spaces as well as people that are in a bedroom like what I'm in now. So a lot of great ideas are in those videos. I have links to the playlist on my main page. So if you're ever go to just Teaquilts homepage, and you can click on the playlist button, and it'll give you my videos kind of grouped together. But she did an excellent job. She said, Deb be the driver. And Deborah says she would leave me and I would go to jail. That is funny. Tiffany says, all this talk about subscribers, and I hit 595 today. I have a long, long way to go. You'll be at that 10K in no time, T. Yeah, I was supposed to be at 10,000 in May, and it just did not happen. Although I did have in, I think, January or something, I didn't post in January at all, so I think that kind of had something to do with it. YouTube also changed a lot of things, and I think all of my algorithms got screwed up when they went to Studio Beta. So yeah. Thanks. I'll try my best to comment. That's Quilt Gal. Sharon says, I subscribe to yours. Tiffany. Yogi says, I'm looking for a quilting frame. I don't have a quilting frame. I used to have one. I sold that thing long time ago. Even before I got the long arm. EJB48 says, hi T, Richmond, California. Welcome to the chat. Norma says, I apologize. I have to go due to my prayer. Bye-bye. Have fun. And we'll see you next time. She says, I'll be checking in to see you all in the next chat. May God continue to bless you and your family. Good night. Thank you so much, and God blessings to you as well. Vivian says, it's wonderful to sew with you all. Okay. And Deborah says she loves the studio tours. Okay, so what else now y'all also know I've been working. I wanted to talk about something else, but I'm gonna go back. I'm working for the quilt show. I'm still on that topic. So as a vendor, I am also doing various things, and that's why I said I'll talk about Marshall's Dry Goods in a minute. But I have been ordering some fabric from Marshall's Dry Goods, and so I will be selling at the quilt show fabrics from Marshall's Dry Goods. And I am also going to be selling some t-shirts, and I'm also going to be selling window decals, or they can also be sewing machine decals as well. So I have gone to the Dollar Tree, and they have these little stand-up things. And I remember when I first started using these in presentations, and we would get them from like Office Depot. These things would be about $15 or something crazy, because they was, you know, to do your display ads, so they stand up to welcome people to a lecture or something like that. At the Dollar Tree, $1. I was like, oh my goodness, thank you for that. So I put this brown piece of paper in the back, because on the front, I'm using them to show my decals. And they're not in any particular order. I'm just using this so that I can show people what decals I have for sale. And I will turn it all the way around so you can read it. And I lost my dot somewhere. I don't know how I lost the dot on my exclamation point. And then this one. So I am in the process. That's what I've been doing most of my day today, is making decals. So here's my second one. I've only got 2 of them right now filled up, because I just started this yesterday and today. And then I'm just turning around so you can see right side up as well. These are for your gas doors. And that one, well, it shows this way. Yeah. Is it this way? I can't tell. Yeah. And then my name. And I'm also going to be doing like, I'll be probably taking orders for people with their personalized names. And if you didn't look at the video in May where I was on retreat, I actually gave these as gifts to the people at the retreat. I gave them 2. And what they what you do with them is that you can put them on your sewing machine, number one, because when you put it on the back of your sewing machine and then you go to a sewing class or sewing retreat, somebody behind you will always know what your name is. Sometimes we sit with people that we don't know, and then you forget people's name, and now you've got it on your sewing machine. But also to label any other hard porous surfaces that you want to label with your name on it, because we all take stuff to quilt retreats and quilt classes, and then it just prevents you from getting your stuff left. So they can buy them, they can order them where they just buy for one, or they can buy a whole sheet of them. I'll make a whole sheet, but I'll probably do orders for these and then either mail them or hand them back to people, because this will take a while to do if I'm at the quilt show. So, and then I'm also, like I said, I got quilt fabric. I'll be doing t-shirts, and then I also have my patterns as well that I'll be having. So those are some of the things that I'm going to be selling. What I wanted to really talk about, because you all know that I'm in love with the Facebook Marketplace, right? So I didn't buy any more fabric though. So I'm going to take this camera down. What I ended up getting, I saw a lady, she was selling, these are the art bin cases, and I have a gazillion of these. She wasn't selling these, but she gave me 2 of these with what I purchased from her. And in one of them, it has scraps of the HTV Oracle 651, which is awesome. I mean, a whole lot of colors in here and scraps that I can use at the quilt show when I'm doing people's items. Isn't that wonderful? I didn't have to go buy this. She gave it to me for free because it was in a container. She says, oh, I'll just dump this stuff out so you can have the container. And I'm like, first of all, I didn't know I was getting the container with what I got from her. But this was awesome. It is filled with scrap Oracle 651, which is a very good vinyl, and I like the way that it weeds. And now that we're here, someone said that they were having difficulty with Artesa's vinyl, and today I did a comparison of both of them, and I didn't videotape it. And I do have to tell you, the Oracle 651 is the vinyl to buy. If you are doing the vinyl where you are doing decals with. I'm having difficulty with small pieces moving around on the Artesa's vinyl, and when I did it before, I was just making like Teaquilts labels that I put on my packaging, so I didn't really do a whole lot with the Artesa vinyl. But it's hard to weed, and stuff start moving. It peels off stuff you don't want to peel off, and this stuff I just peel it up and it just rips everything up. Nothing gets stuck. So please get a good vinyl if you're going to be doing a whole lot of jobs with vinyl. And I was doing that before I even got this. I haven't even used those scraps yet, but I have Oracle 651 because I bought it on Facebook Marketplace. So what I purchased from this lady is she had 2 of the art bin storage cubes, and I had seen those at Keepsake Quilting in their magazines, you know, their catalogs that they send out. I had seen them in there. I think maybe even Nancy's Notions may have had them at one time, but I never purchased one. Well, you all know that I'm redoing some of the stuff in my room, and my containers with my works in progress sits over here, or some of my works in progress sits over here. And when I want to get one, I may have 8 of those things stacked on top of each other, and I had to go through and pull out all of them. So this lady had 2 of them, and I hurried up and went and got them. So let me just take you off this stand and just show you my 2 that I use. I got them today. I came home and put those things right in spot. I need 2 more though, so I'm gonna have to go back to the Facebook Marketplace and see if I can get 2 more of them. But let me show you, and I'm gonna have to switch this camera around right here. Isn't that nice? And then I can pull out the individual ones because they're on a track. You see that track in there? It's, see, look at the lid of this blue one at the top, and you can see that little track in there. the top of the lid sits on that rail, and that is what's holding that up there. I need 2 more of them. Look at that stack up there. It's just ridiculous. I said, ooh, and then I'm gonna take some of the other containers that are the other size and then put them into those, or not even, they're works in progress, but they're like big projects where I was pulling a lot of fabric. So that's what that is. And I kind of got like fabric I sort into the big ones when I'm cutting. But I love these cubbies. I have been resisting paying $50 for these cubbies for years. But I'm telling you, if I don't find them on Facebook Marketplace, you can believe that Teajuana gonna be ordering 2 of them off Amazon. Somebody gonna send me 2, but I'm gonna try to get them at a discount first. But that was an awesome deal. And then to give me all of that vinyl, so I felt like I really got a discount at that point, because I felt like I don't even know if I want to spend this much money. And I will tell you that she was selling them for $25 a piece. They retail for $50, and she wasn't taking any lower prices. So I went ahead and got it. I wasn't happy about them, but when I got to them, they were brand new. Her husband had put them together she had them for about a month, and then her husband bought her a new embroidery machine, and so he bought her a new system for her whole room, and so she no longer needed those. So that's why she wasn't willing to take any discounted rate. But I'm telling you, now that they're in place and I've been pulling out one container without actually going through the whole stack, I do love it. Awesome. And I don't feel bad about spending the $50, especially after she gave me all of that vinyl. Okay, so yeah. Hold on, let me go back through the comments just to make sure. Vicky is telling somebody that they made quilting frames. I forgot who was looking. I think it was Nora. I'm not sure. Or Vivian. Who was it? I can't remember. I can't remember. And I can't see it right now. Tiffany says, I need me a decal that says driver carries no cash, wife's a quilter. That is too funny. She says, I seen it online but can't find an actual sticker for my husband's ugly car. I put the gas thing on my husband's tank. I went out like about 3 o'clock in the morning, put it on his tank, and he goes to work at 6 o'clock in the morning, so it's dark outside when he leaves, and he didn't notice it. And he was going back to his car after he got off work when he saw it. And then he said one of the guys at work saw it at the same time and asked him about it. He said, my wife, I don't know when she put this thing on here. But I did it as a prank, and he ended up leaving it on there. So and Deborah says, I'm going to have to check out Facebook Marketplace. And what I tend to do is I like search for particular things I'm interested in. Like, since I got the Quilt thing, I keep searching to see if somebody might have some studio dyes. I haven't been lucky yet with that, but I've been lucky with other things. And I'm going to show you one other thing I got, and it's super heavy, in a minute. I'm just trying to check the comments before I go to the next thing. Pamela says, I can never find anything good on Facebook Marketplace. Phyllis says, I have my art bins, love the store my works in progress and grouping of fabrics for planned projects, and that's what I do with them. River says, yes, I love it. Is that online? That you can get it. I'll put an Amazon link underneath this, because that's where I'm going to order mine from. I'll give you all an Amazon link when I go find it. Like I said, I just got home with these right before I got in. That's why I didn't have notification out, because when people put stuff up, you've got to be the first one. And then most people will do first come buy it. So because they don't want somebody to tell them, I'm going to come get it, and then somebody else asks before you pick it up, and then say you change your mind and you don't go get it, they could have sold it to that other person. So they tend to go first come, first serve. So you gotta kind of jump on it when it happens. So that's what I did. So where did you get those frames the art bins are sitting in? Again, I will leave a link down in the bottom. I got mine off of the Facebook Marketplace. But I'm going to have to get 2 more because I need to stack. And they put, you can stack them. And she says that it came with 2 wooden dials, but she pitched them because she didn't stack them. So when I get the next 2 brand new, they'll have the pins in them. So then I'm just going to put the dials in them so that I can stack them up there. And then all of them will fit over there. That's pretty cool. And I love it that I can just pull out one and not have to, every time I needed to get one, it was the one on the bottom. And I had to remove the other 5 or 6 or 7 that was sitting on top of it to get it. So, Diane says, I have about 5 of those. Love those satchels. Yes, indeed. And Teresa says, Teaquilts, you hit the jackpot. Where do you see my next item? And it is so weird. It's ridiculous. She says, those cubbies sometimes are sold at Joann's. I bought my cubbies and satchels several years ago when they were on sale at Joann's. Diane says, Tiff, all our hubbies need that sticker. Quilt Gal says, I have a PVC hand quilting frame and a John Flynn frame if you're interested. And I had the John Flynn frame. I also sold that one too, even before I got the long arm. Let me get this. You see this right here? This is my other Facebook find. Let me get it. It's so big. Look at this. Do you all know what this is? I'm not going to tell you what it is. See if you all know what this is. And it doesn't have a name on it. So if anybody knows the name of this, so that I can Google it. Because I'm wondering if I need to oil this. So I'm going to put it back over here for right now. See if anybody know what that is. Yes, so Marion has it and Debbie Huey has it. It is a badge maker is the official name of it, which is a weird name for a pen maker, but it's called the badge maker. And this one here is, I got this from the People, and it does have a little clear film on here because you can see it because it's all blurry. And I wanted to make sure that it worked. And the people that I bought it from had no clue how to use it. And it's so funny because I've been thinking about getting a badge maker. Not that I want to do it for business, but I thought we could get these, and maybe even as a project at retreat, we could decorate these, put people's name in here, and then you could decorate on the outside with like 3D floral flowers or leaves, and even put a fabric behind it, make it look like a flower, like a ruffle around the outside. I figured that they could be decorative as well as you could put photos or do holiday pins or whatever you wanted to do. So I thought it would be useful and I could use it so many different ways. So I went and started searching, and of course the first thing that comes up is the Badger Minute. And I watched quite a few videos and they try to make it look like the Badger Minute is real easy to use, but I knew I wasn't buying that. The Badger Minute looked like it's hard. It's so little. And then sometimes when people would use it, it wouldn't do a clear, good seal like on the edge here. Like this kind does. And so then I can't remember the name of the website, but I want to say it was called like Mr. Button Maker or Mr. Badge Maker or something like that. And he had these units similar to this. This is bigger. And it was smaller, but it was all metal, and the little things spin around for you to, do part 1, and then you press for part 2, and you did the second thing. And it was really cool, and I was really impressed. But for somebody that's not going to do any business with this, they wanted almost $400. And it depends on which size. And when you buy these, they only are good for one size unless you buy all of the replacement cups that go with it. And I don't even know if that company had it where you had to buy a press for each one, or if you could buy replacement cups. That's what I don't know. Yeah, $400. You get about maybe 20 or so of these that you can make with that comes with it. Then you got to buy your own supplies, okay? So I'm laying in bed at 11:30 p.m. scrolling through the Facebook Marketplace, and up comes this thing here. And I said, oh my goodness, I wonder if that's what I think it is. So I click on it, go in there, and they say, yes, it is. And they just showed you that, and then they had pulled out like a handful of this kind of stuff and said they had supplies that go with it. So I picked up, this thing was $100. I did pay $100. No, I paid $95 because I offered her $95 instead. On Facebook Marketplace, I wanted to offer her less, but she had so much supplies that I couldn't even force myself to say, can I pay you $80 for that instead? Normally that's what I would do. And if they say I'll take $90, then we'll be at $90. But she had over 200 or more of this. I got a big plastic tote that's filled with the supplies to make buttons. With this for $100. I couldn't believe it. So I'm going to be trying to see if Flower Valley Quilt Guild is going to be interested in, you know, doing, if they could do something with it. If anybody can do something with it that's in St. Louis, just let me know. You can use it. You can borrow. You can even get some supplies, okay? I bought it just because I might want to do retreat name tags with them or something like that. That's what I thought I would do with them. So if anybody ever need it, that's local because it's heavy. I won't be mailing it anywhere. I won't, and I'm not taking it too many places. So if I meet you anywhere, if I see you somewhere, you most definitely can borrow it. But I can't wait to use it. I got to now figure out what size circle I need. I got it yesterday. This was my yesterday Facebook Marketplace find. And I had to go 45 minutes. No, it was longer than that. I had to go about an hour to pick this thing up. It was in, Debbie will know, that's why I'm saying where it's at. It was in, I want to say Holly Hills. I think that's where it is. It was out past Gravois. I want to say Holly Hills or Holly Springs, something like that. It was past Valley Park. Debbie kind of know where Valley Park is, all that, but it was a long ride. But I went and got it. Yeah. So people had some good guesses. Is it for snaps? Is it a press? Is it an embosser? So yeah, but Janet said, T, you or who? Last week you couldn't find potatoes. Oh, goodness. Kathy says it looks like a thing for corking wine. You're going to break this wine bottle. Deborah said got some fabrics that look like a tiny quilt. Get some fabric that looks like a tiny quilt. Who, me or somebody else? You got Claudette finally showed up. Where you been, girl? She says hi from Anaheim, California. And in California, I think we're a couple hours ahead of them, so some of them are just getting off work when I go live. Kathy says, I wonder if you can use it for making needle minders for cross stitch. That's an idea. So if you all got some ideas on what I can do with all these buttons I got, because I probably only plan to use about 30 of them in the next year. And I'm sure it's more than 200. I wouldn't even count them, but it's a big tub. Just think of a storage tote that's filled. One half of it is filled with this because we put a cardboard in the middle of it before we start filling it. Put the front side on one side, and then we put the backs on the other side, and then the little round covers, they were in a package. So if you all got some ideas of what I can do with that, I just couldn't pass that up for $100, and I paid $95. So Phyllis is saying T, art being online at Joann's. I don't know. I don't know what she's saying, what she's trying to tell me, but Winfrey says very expensive at the shop, and that's what she told me, that she buys out shops that are closing out, and said that this was in a shop and they had it actually mounted onto a wall, and then they would make their buttons, they just pulled the handle down. But I don't plan on mounting it because I'm only going to use it once or twice. But I might make some Teaquilt buttons since I got it. And then I'll just probably put Teaquilts and my website on it, something like that. And just maybe if I, if I have time before the quilt show, maybe I'll make some. I don't know, and give them to my customers. Maybe, I don't know. But I got the option. It's crazy. But when I see stuff and people start saying, well, this goes with it and that goes with it, I'm like, oh my goodness. So, okay, so let me see. Debbie says, I got 3 groovy boards and 13 paper pantos and a cutting board from Marking Place. And Debbie is good. She gets real good bargains. Me, I get what I'm particular about what I'm looking for, whereas Debbie is like the global searcher. And so she says, what did she say? She paid $30 plus 15 postage. And that's pretty good for postage on some heavy items. Them groovy boards are heavy. So $45 is a good deal. Let's see. Let me go back up a little bit because I think somebody new came in. Phyllis says use 40% off coupon and 20% off today on total order. Okay. It's too late for me to go to Joann's now. And I don't know if Joann's has the Orbin cubbies. I have to see. Sharon says, wow, you got a deal, T. Tiffany says, you're running out of room for all your finds, T. Now, wait a minute. This went into the same space. It didn't take up any more space. Those cubbies are in the same space. This right here will be stored in the garage, and I'll just store it inside of a trash bag so that, like, the only kind of bugs I get in my garage are, like, spiders or bees sometimes, because they can get in through the cracks. They like to go in there and make their hives for the winter, and then they come back out whenever they make them. I don't know when they make them, but I know when I go in there I have to like clean all of that up every spring when I go in there. So we've got Georgia B. She says greetings from Ohio, T and all. Hi, welcome to chat. Thank you so much for joining us. Judy say, so you're gonna sell a button tee? I might. I probably do some test stuff and give them out to my customers for free at the quilt show, and then I probably will sell them after that. I might. You never know. And a lot of people, they do like rest in peace buttons. They might do like birthday buttons where they just need a certain ones for a group. You just never know. I had no intentions of, but I can. And Diane says, look like that's about 2.5 or 3 inches. This is a 2.5. So you're correct. Jennifer J is here. She says, hi, T from Auburn, Washington. Welcome. She's been watching a lot of my old videos, so I appreciate you doing that. Thank you so much. Don't forget to hit that thumbs up button, guys. I've got 43 people. Hit the thumbs up. Claudette says volunteer today at the church food bank and clothing ministry. So that's where she's been doing good deeds. Judy says sell us a button. Let me design a Teaquilts button, because I'm just basically going to do one that's just plain like with Teaquilts, and then put my website underneath for the show, because I'm not going to do a whole lot, because I shouldn't be doing this at all anyway. So, but then I'll do a button. I'll probably use my Scrap Queen logo on it some kind of way. We'll see. And Peggy says, I want a pen. How cool. Benita says, I looked in the arts and crafts section on the marketplace. I read crochet or sew in $50. Why did I think this was a mini retreat? It's for hair. Girl, you crazy. That is funny though. Oh gosh. I'm a mess today. Maybe I need a nap. Oh gosh. Shirley Reese says, I use mine to add photos to a family reunion banner. I placed a button with a picture of the family member along with their city and state they reside in. Excellent idea. Thank you so much. I can do that. I even have a family reunion quilt that I used to have people sign when my grandmother was alive. So that would also be awesome too. Order the art bins online. Coupons are online too. Okay, but you can use the additional 20 online too. I'm gonna have to see what these prices are. Okay, because I'm gonna be looking. Debbie says garage storage could cause rust. Just saying. On this thing here. Okay. This part is not so big. I could store that in the house. I just thought I'd put it out there in a bag, but it could cause rust. Okay. Diane says, oh, I think you hit a tender spot, Tiff. What she's talking about? I don't know. I'm not going back. Deborah Bridges says, got to go. Have a good night. Everyone be blessed. It was 8:11, so I've been on here a good chunk of time now. Michael Riaz says, hey T. Hi Michael, welcome. Teresa McBrayer says, I've already hit the thumbs up. Pamela Tabor is here. She says, hi Debbie Huey, are you the one that has the Studio T tape? I was drooling over your fabric. And then her fabric also made some people go, maybe I don't need all this fabric. It was so funny. And Debbie go, yep, that's me. So I'm going to go ahead and end here. The only other thing that I was working on this week when I shouldn't have been is that I did work on this embroidery quilt back there. And I got stuff in the corner blocking it. I do have the book. Somebody asked me about it last time. Here's the book. And you can buy this where you do regular traditional applique. And I mean traditional applique in the sense that you can do it by hand, needle turn, or you could do it with fusible webbing. I bought the version of this pattern that came with the machine embroidery CD because I didn't want to do either one of them. The traditional styles of applique. So what I've done this past week is I've got the top sections, 1, 2, 3 up on top, and then the ice cream one over here, well, would be right here. That one, those are pieced into 4 individual segments. And then all the other ones, I made sure I went through and cut all of the border blocks. They call them border blocks, but they're like the extra pieces that you need to put this quilt together. So I went through and made all of those. Either I made 4 patches, pinwheel blocks, and then also blank strips. So I got everything now cut. And you know I messed up my room, right? Pulling all these different fabrics out so that I can cut all these different fabrics. So now I got to clean back up all the extra fabric, and some of my containers are here. That second container is my Christmas quilt that I'm also working on with the sew along. I still don't have it put together. But so that's what that is. That's what I've kind of done this week. Also, doing a lot with my mom this week. She had doctor's appointments. She actually had surgery on her hand. She had some issues with her hand, and she's doing fine. It's fantastic. So we've been going back and forth to the doctors for a period of time, and this surgery seems to have done the trick. So everything is great with that. So I'm going to go ahead and close out at this time. Hopefully nothing else was said. Let me check real quick. Oh, Diane says, I was talking about when Tiffany said you were running out of room, and you were very quick to point out that it didn't take up any more room than you were already using. Oh, it's no big deal. I have a great sense of humor. I also throw jabs out at people around me, so I'm used to it and I can take it. And I didn't take it anyway, Tiffany. So I see Tiffany was saying that she was just using being sarcastic, but it's hard to read sarcasm. So I got it. And yeah, y'all know what size my room is. I showed it to you, so hey, it's no big deal. And I might show you all what my room looked like before I got this white bookcase. I'll show you what was in here before, and how dirty it was before. And then I'm in the process of still working on little kinky things, and so when I get to that, I might upload what I did. It's not going to be perfect, but it'll be better. So, Debbie says chaos is a sure sign of creativity. You got that right. Anytime I work, I tell you, I make a complete mess. My table where I'm doing these, half the table is a mess, and I'm using the ironing board, okay? It's ridiculous. Okay, so that is going to be it for me. Thank you all so much. I appreciate everybody that's been here tonight. Please come back next week. I probably won't have anything next week either because it'll be the couple days before we have to set up our quilt show. But I will be here letting you know what it is that I've been doing this week, and also wanting to know what you've also done in the past week. So see you all next week. Also, don't forget to keep sharing my channel because it looks like we're only 48 people away from getting 10,000. Now, in all honesty, if it happens before the quilt show, nothing major is going to happen because I already got my hands full. So if it happens before next week, just know that it'll probably be in October before I even appreciate the people or do the drawing. So I'll do a video on it, and then on that video you'll have to comment, but you would have to have already commented on a previous video. So remember, if you have not ever commented on any video, just go out of this video tonight, find any video, it doesn't matter, long as that comment has the date before I post the video for the 10,000 drawing, okay? So it doesn't matter, and it doesn't matter what you say. You can just say, hi T, I've been in your chat and I just want to comment in your comment box, okay? See you all next time, everybody. Bye bye.